I am here today to talk about a recent media that has been published about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the United States of KAILASA. We strongly condemn the ongoing and relentless attacks done on Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the United States of KAILASA, which stands as a pillar to protect and revive all the Hindu kingdoms in which faced and encountered countless of persecution. It is alarming to witness the media's unethical stance and a systematic disinformation campaign to misrepresent and perpetuate further persecution of our already marginalized and persecuted minority indigenous Hindu communities that are represented by KAILASA. We are here to address an article published on the 30th November 2023 and attributed to the Associated Press. Paraguay official resigns after signing agreement with fictional country. As everyone knows, there are always two sides to the story. It is unfortunate that this article was published without contacting us. We strongly condemn any such Hinduphobic, racist lawfare and disinformation systematically perpetrated to such article. History has shown it is a weapon that the imperial races has perpetrated transnationally for thousands of years, which has displaced millions of Hindus, pushing them into a generation of homelessness and statelessness. This very article is actually violating the very ethics of journalism. How? The first, in journalism, you are supposed to be integrated to the core main principles of truth and accuracy. Second, independence. Third, fairness and partiality. Fourth, humanity. And fifth, accountability. Article that was written does not fall under any of the above mentioned ethics of journalism. When journalism is not here for the truth, then it only lands as an organization using the media in the form of a weapon to create more chaos for this already minority Hindu indigenous community. The article published falsely states a fugitive Indian guru while referring to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivoham, is not a fugitive. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a persecuted individual whose basic human rights were denied, which is well documented with a plethora of evidence that can be shared to the publisher. There are very important main factors in which the publisher needs to be aware of. The US court order that exonerates the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, was proven innocent by the California USA court on April 4, 2013. The court ruled in favor of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, and fined the false victim nearly $500,000. The court case number is 2-13-CV-00526. You can find this case number in the United States District Court, Southern District of Ohio. The omission of US court's orders that exonerates the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, of the false accusation, and at the same time, in sharp contrast, actively spreading disinformation in relation to the above-mentioned false accusation are strong indicators of journalistic non-integrity to the authors, the editors, and the publishers. This very statement itself does not live up to journalism ethics.
The article falsely states Nithyananda, who is wanted in India on several charges, including sexual assault. It is important to note that despite nearly 15 years of malicious persecution in India, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has not been convicted of any crime. The unproven allegations in India of rape are false and malicious. Moreover, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda has been proven innocent and exonerated in the US judiciary more than 10 years ago. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Paramashivam, is a persecuted individual whose basic human rights were denied and subject to more than a decade of lawfare. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, was proven innocent by the California court on April 4, 2013. The court ruled in favor of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, and fined the false victim nearly $500,000 in fines. Many prominent world-renowned human rights advocates like Casey Joffrey Robertson have given independent reports and legal opinions attesting to this. Mr. Robertson, Casey stated, both A and B's claims against he and were dismissed in US cases with costs and in A's case with damages. Further evidence emerged in the US proceedings to show that the allegations were false. The court ruled in favor of the Supreme Pontiff of Nithyananda Paramashivam and fined the false rape accuser nearly $500,000 in fines. The article falsely stated, particularly referring to Kailasa as the fictional country, representatives of the fictional country. On Kailasa's website, the fictional country is described as Taiwan, Kosovo, or Palestine state. Some would say yes, and others would say no. What is incontrovertible is that self-determination is a human right, enshrined in many international instruments, including the United Nations Charter. Another incontrovertible human right is the right to freedom of religion. These are the rights being exercised by all of Kailasa's citizens. Kailasa may be less recognized compared to other states, but that doesn't deny the people of Kailasa from exercising their fundamental human rights and political rights of building diplomatic relations and recognition. Kailasa is a sovereign entity as per international law. People with a common origin, history, language, culture, customs, or religion can claim into a nation through the awakening of national consciousness. A nation can exist even without a state, as is exemplified by the stateless nation. Citizenship is not always the nationality of a person. The United Nations International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, recognized by 178 nations, its very first article declares all people have the right of determination, self-determination. By virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. These are the rights being exercised by all of Kailasa's citizens. Kailasa may be less recognized compared to other states, but that doesn't deny the people of Kailasa from exercising their fundamental human rights and political rights of building diplomatic relations and recognition. The article also stated who also appear to have duped several local officials. Further in the article, it is falsely stated he signed a memorandum of understanding with representatives. The document reference was not a memorandum of understanding, but a proclamation. As it is a proclamation, there is nothing that Kailasa received in return. Furthermore, even the MOU would have been merely a statement of the possibility of contributions in the future. Kailasa, without any vested interest, without anything to gain, without any obligation to contribute, completely selflessly has already contributed 3 million Paraguayan Guarani worth of medical aid to support the people in the said local community in Paraguay. Kailasa's humanitarian aid is not gathered through taxes as how most established nations would, but is instead raised through hard work and sacrifices of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and contributions of hardworking individuals of a persecuted minority indigenous community that are inspired to do the same, witnessing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivoham's relentless sacrifices and unshakable commitment towards this mission. Kailasa has contributed so much. For the past nearly 30 years, Kailasa ecosystem around the world have served over 1 billion free meals in total. The citizens and the volunteers of Kailasa have saved millions of human lives through various disaster relief works such as the 2012 Sun Cyclone, blood donation campaign, and for many more. In May 2021, Kailasa opened its temple monastic community premises in India to provide multi-layer preventive quarantine as a free service for protecting people from the COVID-19 pandemic. Irrespective of race, religion, caste, nationality, gender, the service was offered completely free of charge to all. In the past 3 years, through these preventive quarantine centers, Kailasa saved thousands of lives with zero reported cases of COVID infection. Kailasa stands as a testament to the unwavering resilience of the persecuted indigenous Hindu communities subjected to multi-generational oppression, slavery, and severe human rights violations. The United Nations, through the 13 public reports, affirmed the documented persecution endured by Kailasa, endorsing the veracity of our struggle.
In the article, it is stated, quote unquote, acknowledged it had gotten scammed when it signed a sister city agreement with Kailasa, end quote. Kailasa is a sovereign entity as per the international law. Kailasa is the revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, which is revived by the displaced Hindus from all around the world. Kailasa is a recognized international body and has established bilateral relations and has not scammed anyone. Organizations and institutions representing Kailasa have established diplomatic relationships with many cities, states, constituencies, municipalities around the world, bridging cultures, encouraging interreligious dialogue, and continuing our Hindu-based humanitarian service to promote global peace through better understanding of diverse culture. However, it is unfortunate Hindu-phobic racist articles media such as the WSAV has derailed this humanitarian services that Kailasa is committed to. Unlike any modern nation, the United States of Kailasa, also known as the USK, provides a base for the revival, preservation, and central administration of Hinduism, similar to the Vatican, which serves as central administration hub for the Roman Catholic Church. The sovereign order of Kailasa's Nithyananda is an atypical government simultaneously functioning as the supreme governing body of Hinduism and a sovereign entity under international law. This mirrors the unique status of the Holy See, which is an atypical government as well, as it serves both the supreme governing body of the Catholic Church and a sovereign entity under international law. Kailasa is a non-violent, humanitarian, service-orientated nation, and we are being hammered and persecuted by Hindu-phobics, Hindu mystics, racist forces. denying us our rights to exist, denying us our rights to get recognition, and denying us our rights to survive. Few educated Hindu monks are going around the world contributing to humanity through their service and spreading Hinduism. In response to recent skepticism regarding the authenticity of the United States of Kailasa, we, the resilient citizens of this nation, stands united to reaffirm our identity and dismiss unfounded claims seeking to undermine our existence. A nation isn't solely a geographical entity. It embodies a shared history, a vibrant culture, and the unwavering spirit of its people. Our roots run deep, weaving together generations with a common purpose and collective sense of belonging that transcends borders. We outright reject any effort to discredit our nationhood. Our identity isn't a fabrication, but a testament to centuries of shared experience, struggles, and triumphs. Any attempts to diminish our nation and its significance are not only inaccurate, but also disrespectful to the million of Hindus who proudly call Kailasa their home. To those questioning our legitimacy, we urge you to move beyond biases. We urge you to move beyond biases and delve into the complexities of our history. Our nation stands as a testament to the rights of every people to self-determination, a principle entrenched in international law. We refuse to let our Hindu identity and narrative be distorted or erased any further. Our rich cultural tapestry, woven from diverse tradition and values of non-violence, speaks volumes about the authenticity of Kailasa, the first nation for Hindus. We warmly invite the global community to explore, understand, and cherish the richness of our heritage. In the face of adversity, our resolve remains unwavering. Our commitment to preserving and celebrating our unique Hindu identity is resolute. Kailasa isn't just an idea. It is a vibrant testament to the resilience of a people who have wavered, it is a vibrant testament to the resilience of a people who have weathered storms and emerged stronger. For the world to stand alongside us, to acknowledge and honor the legitimacy of Kailasa. Together, let's forge pathways of understanding, foster dialogue, and embrace the diversity that enriches our global community. Kailasa is real, and our voice will be heard. Thank you. Nithyananda.